Ahoy, my friends, Ryder here, and welcome back to another Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis video. I do apologize for the late release of this video. I was so tired last night. I was literally like crawling through the hours waiting till 9 p.m. for the patch to update, and then when it did, they had forgot to put in the crossover banner, and so I just figured I'm just gonna wait until tomorrow morning. I mean, yesterday I even had to literally run out of a tattoo appointment to make an appointment with my wife, and my tattoo is currently, as you guys can see, half finished. So I'm gonna be going back in there today. I'm moving back to San Diego for 6 weeks on Saturday, so this whole week has been absolutely insane, but I'm doing my best to keep videos going out for you guys. It will be pretty tough for me. I think I'm gonna do my best to make the video next week, but I'm basically flying back to San Diego. Then my brother's wedding is happening that week, and it's just been freaking crazy. But there's going to be a lot of cool stuff coming from my channel come the beginning of next year. I will start to put out some videos explaining like the direction I want to take everything, and there's gonna be a lot of cool stuff I'll be doing. So hopefully you guys will be around to check that out. So that being said, before we get into the notices, I am going to make a quick guild recruitment note. So if any of you guys are looking to join an Ever Crisis guild, we have like 12 different guilds in our alliance. They're all different rankings. We have several guilds in the top 10, a bunch in the top 20, 30, 40, 50, even guilds in the top 100. So if you're looking for something casual, competitive, we are recruiting. Just come check out our Discord. It's called the Curseborn Discord. There's a link in the description of this video. And once you join, you'll get a message showing you the guild recruitment channel, and we'll get you sorted from there. All right, so let's get into the notices for the day. All right, so what are we looking at? We're looking for November 5th. All right, let's take a look at the defect right here. All right, let's see what they got going on. Thank you for playing Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis. The fourth sheet of the Final Fantasy XIII series crossover panel mission was added to the game on November 5th, but at a later time than previously announced. Because the original 6 p.m. release date was missed, certain fourth sheet missions can no longer be completed on November 5th. To remedy the situation, the requirements for completing certain fourth sheet missions are being adjusted. Alright, so this is basically, there is affected players will get stamina, apology gifts, stamina tonics, affected player, I guess it has a chocobo, anyways. Alright, so I don't think this is too huge of a deal. It just basically means that we'll still be able to get those rewards. Regarding the November 5th event and draw delays, I wonder if we're going to get a crystal compensation. The following event and draws were scheduled to start in November, but were delayed due to the extra time required for final checks. Call-in bullshit. Delayed with no notice? Someone forgot, you frickin' liars. Like, come on, no... Delayed for time to require for final checks. First of all, guys, if you're doing final checks 1 hour before your banner launches, it makes you look really bad. So even with this, trying to cover your tracks, you're just making yourselves look bad. Like, my gosh, the mentality at Applebot staggers me, guys. It stumbles me and knocks me to the ground, and I just can't with them. Like, Anyway, alright, delayed events and draws. Dungeon ranking, DeChao statue, Final Fantasy XIII series crossover draw, Cloud and Glenn, and the Final Fantasy XIII series step up draw volume 2. We're very sorry for failing to make an announcement sooner. Yeah, I'm sure you are. The event and content in question are currently available. We sincerely apologize. No compensation. Man, Applebot. I will not play an Applebot game ever again after Ever Crisis, guys. They've lost it for me. But I'm still here for Ever Crisis for right now. Alright, so let's go down to the bottom ones, November 5th. Alright, event dungeon ranking, DeChao statue is on now. Alright, so let's see what we got going on with this here. Alright, so Ice Element is effective. Make full use of trance abilities. Alright, obviously Cloud is going to be best in slot with his new banner for this. Final Fantasy XIII series crossover Flash of Destiny update, so we are going to be getting the new missions, the new co-op mission, etc. Let's go up to the banner, Final Fantasy XIII series crossover draw, Cloud and Glenn. I really wish they put the information in the notices like they used to. But yeah, basically this notice just gives us a picture of the banner, so we'll go over, and I'm going to be doing a banner review in this video here today. And then I think we have one left. It's just a two-step, step-up draw. Hopefully the first draw is free. That is the best thing about this. Free. Sweet. Draw for free at step 1. That is what I recommend to you guys, unless you're really trying to drop money on the game, which at this point in time I feel like maybe is not the best, but, you know, if you're having fun, you're having fun, so I support it. Alright, responsibly. Alright, so let's check out the shop. I think we're going to be getting something similar to what we had in the Aerith Tifa shop. So, yeah, exactly. So where we are able to get, you know, it's actually 2 of these now. So you can pick up a weapon for 4K right here. I honestly think these should have been 3. I thought 4 was a bit steep. But it is there if anyone is trying to pick up one last copy of that weapon that they needed, and then the rest of the shop looks to be pretty standard. Alright, so now I'm going to be switching over to the banner review. Alright, so let's take a look at the new Cloud and Glenn banner. Now, Glenn's costume, guys, is a part of the panel missions. I haven't unlocked it, but you can see it here. It's called Snow Style. Honestly, I feel like this is one of his best costumes in slot. It's a really cool one. I really like this costume. I feel like Glenn absolutely rocks it. It looks great on him. For all of you Glenn fans out there, this is super cool, and it's free, and it's great. I mean, look at this free costume. We have literally never got something like this before. This is going to boost magic defense to all allies for a staggering 20% magic defense here, right? 20% on a free costume. And then we get the Patron of Yusnan, right? And this is going to, when granting magic attack down, max potency tier +1, and it gives him full elemental resistance plus 10%. So for a free costume, this is out of the ballpark, S tier, insane, so good. So congratulations to every player that is going to get this for free. Make sure you finish your panel missions. All right. Now let's go back and take a look at the draw. I'm going to give you guys like a quick overview here. I think that they kind of didn't need to make Cloud super OP. Because they knew that so many people would want to pull for Cloud in this costume. And honestly, I think that Applebot kind of like, they do this a lot where they won't give a character something great just because they know that people will pull it anyway. I feel like this is kind of where Applebot goes wrong. Like, they're so like holed up in their little high-rise building, the people making decisions at the top. Not the devs, not the game designers, not the artists, not any of those people. The people controlling them, right? And they're all up there and they're trying to figure out all these clever and tricky ways to get people to spend more money. I think that if they just put their effort and their passion into making a great game, they would make infinitely more money than they do when they think they're clever. Because they're not, right? Like, everyone sees through it, which is so ironically hilarious to me. But that being said, I do think that Cloud's weapon, I haven't taken a look at the costume, but I do think Cloud's weapon is probably skippable for most people. I have yet to have a single weapon in the game that creates an enemy weakness, and I have not had problems really with any content. I mean, I'm not clearing all the super hard stuff just because I think the gap between, you know, free-to-play and whales has reached like an astronomical high. Like, if you look at the high challenge scores, you're seeing people with insanely high scores. I think someone broke 400 million on the Magic Fire Challenge, which is like absolutely insane. So it really shows the gap between what's possible in the game and what most people have in the game, right? So I don't think that Cloud's weapon is a must pull. However, I'm probably still going to be pulling it because I've kind of like deviated over to a mentality and perspective where, you know, the game has not quite lived up to my expectations. I know that it has the potential to do better. But at the same time, I still love Final Fantasy VII. I love Ever Crisis, or I love a lot of things about Ever Crisis, maybe not all of them. I love the community. You guys are awesome. It's been such a fun adventure doing this and sharing this whole experience with you guys. And so, you know, I think that all in all, Cloud's weapon is pretty much skippable for most people unless you want to have a super strong ice setup. He is really great for that. It is a good weapon, right? But it's not one of those weapons that I think is like Aerith's weapon on the previous banner, where this weapon is just going to have so much like versatility and viability across so many different builds. Cloud's is very, very niche, and on top of that, I'm gonna go with the fact that I think Glenn's weapon is actually better. So for all of you guys that are Glenn mains or who like using Glenn as a tank, his weapon is very, very, very good. So I think that Glenn actually takes the takes the win on this banner. And so pulling for Cloud I think is just going to be like a personal preference, right? So for me, what I'm going to be doing, just to give you guys like a bit of a heads up, is I'm going to be waiting to pull on this banner, even though I'm 99% sure I am going to pull for Cloud. I'm going to wait to see Sephiroth. He's the last banner of the collab. It's probably a solo banner, and typically on collaborations, not always, but typically the last one can be the best one. So I think just to wait and see, just to make sure that Cloud is, or Sephiroth is not getting anything super game breaking, I'm going to be waiting 1 week to determine to pull on this banner. I think that's probably the best advice I can give you guys, is just be patient. You know, this is going to be here till November 27th, so it's not like you're running the risk of losing it. There's no Guild War announced as of now, so everything's okay. But let's go ahead and take a look at everything on this banner. So I want to see the animations first. Alright, so here's Cloud's. Costume looks awesome. They could have given him like an ice animation on that. It seemed a little plain. Glenn's actually looks better. His looks like a yin-yang blade beam. And then there's Sid's right there. Let's go back and look at Glenn's one more time. We'll look at Cloud's basic animation right here. Let's see. Oh, he's got a tiny little fire. Okay, I guess he's got the little roses coming off of it. But Glenn's is pretty sick. Like, look at that huge blade beam right there. It's actually really cool. Okay, now let's take a look at what we got going on here. Alright, so here is Cloud's costume. Honestly, guys, super cool. I've always liked this costume for Lightning. I'm almost going to go, I still feel like Lightning rocks it better. It does look a tiny bit like blocky on Cloud, but overall the red, the white, the huge collar, the sword is super sick. I love the half cloak right here. And then he's got like another like upper half cloak. So he's rocking like two full-on half cloaks right here, like a waist cloak and then like an upper cloak right here. I love the armor, the colors, like it's just a cool costume. I was not expecting for Cloud to get something like this, but it is really cool to see it. So I really like the I really like this costume. I think it's sick. I really would love to play Cloud in this costume. So I'm hoping that Sephiroth doesn't get anything too insane. Alright, now let's take a look at it. It's called Equilibrium. Alright, it's going to boost attack for all allies of 15 points, which gives physical plus 20, 7%, so not bad. And then we get Savior's Creed. All allies HP plus 15%, attack stance, command gauge, max, own physical and max ability damage plus 20%, own physical and magic defense plus 20%. So honestly, I feel like this isn't really that great. If you're a new player, it's nice because it's kind of an all-rounded costume, right? It gives attack all allies. You get physical and magic defense, so that's equal across the board. You get attack stance, command gauge, own physical and magic ability plus 20%, but it's still only a 20% buff compared to some of the next-gen Arcanums, which can hit up to like 50%, right, with the combined stats. So it's not really too heavy of a DPS thing. So honestly, I think the costume is okay, but not amazing. This is not really a costume that I think I would ever use for stats based on the costumes that I have. If you're a newer player, this is definitely going to help because it's pretty well-rounded. It's just not super strong. It's more of a defensive costume right here. It's a really high physical magic defense. So it does look okay. It does live up to the name Equilibrium. It's basically equal across the board in all the stats right here. Let's go back and take a look at the sword. So here's Crimson Blitz, OB1. It's going to deal, the ability is Lightning Rush. Oh, it's 3 ATB cost. That is nice, actually. Alright, 520% magic non-elemental damage. It's going to apply Ice Weakness plus 20%. The question is, can it be recast? And it does look like it can be. It's going to be a single enemy, duration 40 seconds. Cannot be applied to targets weak resistant to ice. We already know that. And when HP is 50% or more, it's going to apply an ice damage bonus. When using ice ability, deal damage equal to 20% of the damage dealt to all allies for 40 seconds. So not only can he create ice weakness, but he can also raise the ice bonus damage of the entire team as well. So in terms of having something that could, you know, if you're trying to build a super ice team, it's going to be very good. Cloud has always been good in ice as well. This would pair well with his Stream Saber. So overall, the weapon's not bad. It's definitely good. We have attack over ice potency here as well. We have physical attack boost, magic attack boost, and circle sigil boost here. But I do believe the weapon itself is, oh, it is magic actually. So it does pair pretty well with his new ice weapon. Alright, let's take it to OB6. Alright, so Crimson Blitz, it's going to have 616 magic attack, deal 670% magic non-elemental damage. The Ice weakness will get taken to 30% with a duration of 50 seconds, and the Ice ability will go to 25% of damage dealt. We have attack over Ice potency 40 over 40, so not bad at OB6. I'm guessing this is probably where most people want to take it, but it does look like it could still work at OB1. Like, you're still getting 20% of the, 30% that you would get at OB10. You get the Ice weakness, which is 20% of the 30% that you would get at OB6 or OB10. It's really the duration here. Duration 40 seconds, duration 40 seconds. At OB6 goes to 50 seconds, and then at OB10 it goes to 60 seconds. So at OB10 you're getting a 20-second extra calculation, but I do think that you could still use this weapon at OB1 to apply Ice weakness and fight bosses. So I don't think it's super held back by OB6. The only thing you're really going to get held back by a lot on are the R abilities, right? The R abilities are always going to hold you back when you're trying to slot an OB1 weapon onto your front end build of your character, and you know, for certain bosses that is going to hurt more than others. But it's nice that I think this weapon could be run at OB1. Now, it is a limited weapon. We have no idea when this stuff will return, so just keep that in mind at the same time. Plus, we do have the Near Reincarnation collaboration in December, which I'm really hoping Applebot pulls off. I really hope we get like an Ever Crisis Academy kind of stamp system, you know, because it's Christmas. If they don't do anything like that, I feel like they've basically just lost everything. So we'll see what they do. We'll see how they handle it. Now let's take it at OB10. 672 magic attack, 800% magic non-elemental damage. The Ice weakness, like I said, 30%, duration 60 seconds, and the Ice ability 30% as well. But like I said at the beginning of this video, I think Cloud, unfortunately, is probably an easy skip for most people, guys. It's not something that you absolutely have to have. I think only pull for this if you really love the costume, the collaboration, etc., or if you want to have a super Ice team on your roster. You have everything else to build that up. And yeah, other than that, I think pretty chill. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the next banner item, which is going to be Glenn. Alright, so he just has a weapon here. Alright, so let's take it to OB1. This is called Snow's Bardiche. It is a magic-based weapon, 414 magic attack. It will do a 590% magic ice damage to a single enemy. Inflict Enfeeble, which is fantastic. Enfeeble is literally one of the best abilities in the game, guys. Enfeeble can basically take the tiers to the next level for any debuff that you have on the enemy, which is incredibly powerful, guys. So already off the bat looking very good. On top of that, this does a magic attack debuff right here, a magic attack break. Alright, it's low to mid at OB1. And then we have at 70% or more HP, magic defense is increased, low to mid. So this is a magic attack break, a magic defense buff. So like think Barrett's Escutcheon Cannon, something like that, but also has an Enfeeble on it as well. So honestly, very, very solid, especially if you're running Glenn. If you're using Glenn as your main tank, I think that this is going to be really fantastic to have. This, however, unlike Clouds, is a weapon that I think does kind of want OB6. So let's go down. So the R abilities are boost HP over magic defense, so that's great. Support abilities, double magic attack boost, and an X sigil boost. Now let's take it to OB6. So 651 magic attack, we do 760% magic ice damage. The Enfeeble lasts 45 seconds, and then the magic attack break is mid to high. Alright, and then when HP is 70% or more, the magic defense buff is mid to high as well. Hopefully this does not change at OB10. It does not. Perfect, because this is a limited weapon, right? And we don't want those stats changing on limited weapons between OB6 and OB10. Now, I am a little bit disappointed that this is mid to high at OB6. I do feel like this could have been high to high. I'm not sure the circumstances under which we're going to be able to double cast this. It's all going to depend on the bosses you fight, which other weapon you have, and what criteria is met. In certain situations when you can cast this more often, it's going to be fine. But in certain situations where you can't, it's definitely going to be a little bit trickier. We obviously don't want to be double casting abilities just to hit thresholds, right? Like that can be tough depending on certain battles. But all in all, guys, like if you had someone else drop because his costume is going to increase the capacity for magic defense. So if you had another character drop the magic defense buff or even the magic attack buff and then he casted this, he could take it to the max tier in one cast. So there are ways around it, but overall this is a very, very good weapon for Glenn. I'll probably skip it even though it's super good, just because I really like Cloud in the Knight of Etro costume. But you know, you just got to play the game into what makes it fun for you. You know, take a look at your crystals, your resources, see kind of what you want to go for. I mean, Sid, I believe, is the last ultimate weapon. So whatever is going to drop next month is going to be the next level of ultimate weapons, whether it's new accessories or ultimate weapon 2.0s. So just take everything with the Final Fantasy XIII collaboration with a grain of salt, and just be kind of expecting something bigger to happen in December. So I'm at 47,000 crystals and 2k red. So it'd be pretty tough for me. Like, I could probably pull one stamp card on this and then maybe pull one banner on Nier, depending on the giveaways in December. But all in all, I think the weapon is quite good. Here's OB10, 710. Wow! How is this weapon going to have more magic attack damage than freaking Cloud's weapon on it? It makes no sense to me. Deals 920% magic ice damage, so it's actually really strong magic ice. Like really, really high in the damage right here as well. You know, the enfeeble goes to 60 seconds. The potencies don't change at all. The durations do, up to 35 seconds. But yeah, guys, that's basically going to conclude my review on this. So like I said, in a nutshell, I think Cloud is skippable for most players. Glenn is definitely better, but is he a must-have? No, I don't think so. I think that, you know, you can definitely make teams that cover all these bases, right? So I don't think that either of these banners are absolutely must pull, unlike Aerith's, where I do think that her lightning rod is like basically a must pull. But my recommendation for you guys, like I said before, is to just wait until Sephiroth's banner next week and then make a decision from there. So that is going to conclude my video for the day. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, if you're interested in joining one of our guilds, come join our Discord. We'll get you sorted. And if you guys enjoyed this video today, please don't forget to drop a like, subscribe to the channel for more Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis content. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.